don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? You people!
You people.
You people.
You people that walk around with one blind eye.
You people.
You people that are knocking down Niagara Falls.
You people who destroy our city.
You people that are lying.
People. You people.
You people that would rather do drugs,
You
drink,
people.
steal, rob.
You people. You people.
You people.
You people.
It's time for you to go.
You people.
You people.
You people. You people.
You people. You people. Get the fuck out of this city and go ruin someone else's.
You people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world.
Welcome to the edge of the falls.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh? You people!
You people.
You people.
You people that walk around with one blind eye.
You people.
You people that are knocking down Niagara Falls.
You people who destroy our city.
You people that are lying.
People. You people.
You people that would rather do drugs,
You
drink,
people.
steal, rob.
You people. You people.
You people.
You people.
It's time for you to go.
You people.
You people.
You people. You people.
You people. You people. Get the fuck out of this city and go ruin someone else's.
You people have been chosen to reveal our existence to the world.
Welcome to the edge of the falls. You guys.
All right, so you are the madman, right?
Yeah, so, that's what my ID says.
All right, and I am, let me just see here, the mystic. Okay, so together we are
The Edge of the Falls.
All right, so welcome once again, everybody. I see we're getting a lot of people starting to sign in. We might have had a little glitch there in the audio. We're still trying to get that fixed. And yay, my favorite podcast says Noel. You don't get out a lot, do you, Noel?
Awesome. So, anyways, we have a pretty good show. We're going to talk about some.
I'm
going to
go turn your mic up.
And in case you guys didn't notice, the "Don't Be a Dick" shirt that's behind Peter is supposed to go behind me. He stole it.
What?
Just getting things fine-tuned, and and then we'll break into the show. We got some news. We're going to talk about, of course, some things that maybe will get some people's panties in a bunch. It's funny, Peter, that I've never been called a racist so much in my life as I have, like the past month. And those that know me, I am the farthest from racist. What I do is I tell the truth, and I think that it, sometimes offends people, or they take it wrong way. Or as my son said, Dad, everything you say is racially charged, and that's why people look at it like that. Well, that's because people are looking at it, from, I guess, how could I say, people, Peter, a softer way. They're the you people that don't like exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
I mean, we make a joke out of that, you people, but it's actually quite true. Is that you are not racist. I mean, I've worked with you for 4 years, and I've gotten to know you in so many different ways. I've written a musical with you. I mean, you don't write musicals if you're racist. Well, maybe there was the Clan girls. I don't know.
Yeah, the Clan. I see what you did there.
Yeah, hey, yes, we Clan, But to you and I, the Clan are distasteful.
You know what, they're not only they're distasteful to you, me and you, but even to a bunch of other fucking white people. It's not, come on, guys. I don't know. Just look around. Pay attention to what I say and what I mean, and not the way that it comes out. I'm not the I guess the most well-versed person in the world, but what I say usually is spot on. In Niagara Falls, we're being run down, in our city that we used to care about. Not that we used to. I think there's still a lot of people out there that care, Peter. I think now, though, maybe everybody last week kind of hit the nail on the head and said they're scared. They're scared to go out and do things. They're scared to go out and do stuff, and that's a shame that we have to be scared. You know why? And it goes back to changing the people, changing the thinking. And listen, there's white shitbirds, there's black shitbirds, there's brown shitbirds, there's yellow shitbirds. You guys, they're everywhere. Unfortunately, we have become in Niagara Falls a haven for shitbirds that just have no respect.
Yep. No, I hear you there. We had Jill Shaw on one of our podcasts earlier this weekend, and she is doing, might as well mention it now, she's doing helping spearhead a community effort to do a gun buyback. And so,
I love the idea.
Yes,
I love it.
That's exciting because it's it's grassroots. It's not politicians. But what happened was Jill Shaw called in and she said, when I come home from work at night, I don't stop in the stores anymore. I don't do anything on my way home. She gets off about 10, she said. And it's true. I think a lot of people are now afraid to go out after dark.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, again, we'll look at 22nd in Pine. Who would think that a dude would get shot in broad daylight, die, in an area that we're supposed to, I guess
it's supposed to be our downtown.
Right? It's supposed to be our area where we go to, and maybe feel safe. I don't know.
Hey, Noelle makes a really good point, and it's going to lead into something for you and I here. I think we need to show the new camera angle. She says there's Niagara reporter shitbirds. So let's have a look at that. Give me a moment here, and I'll get this ready for you.
You know what? Just to clear the air on with everybody, it's not that I wanted to be friends with Frank Parlato or Nick D'Angelo or any of those guys. Just like he was saying, we could use you, you can use us. Obviously, it's to a benefit to us more to use the reporter right now, but not for long. Not for long. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Okay, so we've introduced. We have the waterfall dogs, right?
Yeah, of
and
course.
and those are the dogs we wrote the play about, and they are 3 real dogs, and we felt that we should have a camera in here where the dogs obviously they're not going to be able to go to a bathroom. So yes, I have to add one other thing here, and then so we decided what we were going to do was have something that would be ideal for the dogs. So let me just get this little part here done.
JB Aaron said, "Is that the wide-angle lens you got on Brett?" Laughing my ass off. Hey, JB Aaron, here's something for you. Here's something for you.
No way, man.
Right here. It's not on. Peter's got me not on.
Oh, no, wait. Let me get you on there. Sorry.
I got something for you, JB Aaron. It's right here. Oh, it's in my pocket. Here.
All right. Well, then we'll add this in just to make him really happy. Hang on a second. Gotta make sure it all fits. Okay.
Maybe we'll bring JB Aaron on again. It's been a while since we had him on.
It's great having him.
As long as he comes on and sings, right?
Yep.
He's got to sing one song with us.
All right. So we set up a new cam, and here we go. And if you check it out, this is where
look
we
real
can watch.
Close.
Yep, you can. We call it the poop angle.
Yep.
And it's for visiting dogs and JB Aaron. That's what it says in the little print there. Let's see if we can make that little print a little bit bigger just for JB. But there's a lot of room. Let's call it the poop cam. What do you say?
Yeah, the poop cam. I like the poop cam.
All right.
So, and what better than to poop on than is
Then something that's worth pooping on.
Yeah.
Because it sure as hell isn't worth. Never mind.
Right. You know what? It's not up to us to run down the reporter. They do a good enough job of handling that on their own.
Well, I've been wondering about them, actually. I have a theory on that. As people know, there's an issue going on and regarding a certain lawyer who is a sexual predator, and we are standing by that.
Without a doubt.
Yep. And so anyway, while you're looking at the poop cam, I hope you're really impressed. Oh, JB Aaron says that'll cost you all. And Danny Fitzpatrick says every store you go to has someone panhandling outside of it. Those are city employees. They're going to make up the difference.
Yeah, Danny. Come on, Danny. You unfortunately, I can handle the panhandlers as long as they're not being a pain in the ass and really bother somebody. And what happened to the old days when people asked for a quarter? Now all of a sudden, hey, you got a couple bucks? You got a pack of cigarettes? Can you?
Oh my God, I know. And then they go, hey, have you got like a buck? And you say, no, I just got big bills. They go, I got change.
Yeah,
that is so true. So anyway, going back to the reporter for a second, because I do, like you said, I want to clear the air as well. I took offense this past week. If you saw the video, it's available on Action 716. Those guys are great. They kind of work well with us, I think, and we're trying to get the word out there. So I took offense to the fact that Frank Parlato, under the name of Mary Fredericks, wrote an article about George Maziarz, the former state senator, and said that he secretly records telephone calls. So what did we do? We played a secretly recorded conversation with Frank the first time he came in the room.
Right.
And we played it with where he's saying that he secretly records telephone calls. And why do we do it? Because he said he does it because of Cold Stone enemies that might be calling. And you know what, Frank? That's what we thought too. Because we didn't know
beautiful,
what to
Peter. I
expect.
love it. Listen, you know me and you've talked about this before. We looked it up. That as long as one person knows that the recording is happening, and that would be you or the other person. Well, we knew that the recording is going on. There's nothing against the rules of recording a conversation.
No, not in the slightest. So, and I know that people will say, like he said, it's despicable, and I said, well, you better put despicable in your masthead because you admit you do it. And this whole crap and favoring only a couple of candidates and everything. So anyway, I was musing because, as we know, that Frank spearheaded this investigative report about the case with Nick and, of course, the young lady who filed the civil suit. Okay, everything else that's happening we won't talk about. But when that went in, a lot of people called him out for anti-women. They called him out for victim shaming, just in the way it was done. So I was wondering, what would prompt Frank as the publisher to take a stance that he was so protective of his former managing editor? I mean, we've heard rumors and stuff. I mean, is it possible that they're a power couple? I mean, no, and I'm not being facetious. I worked with Pride in Toronto.
See, Peter tied my hands. Otherwise, I want to make fun and laugh and joke about it. He's like, no, you can't do that.
No,
you
can't.
Damn it.
But we have to ask honestly, is that wouldn't someone who, his attitude was, my God, I can't believe he'd ever do that. Well, maybe because he sees a different side of him. I don't know. Is there a power couple thing there? I don't know. But
the feminine side?
Well, the two of them, one of them, top and bottom. You can't figure it out. But anyway,
we're fucking assholes. But you guys know what? Get
it's
used
a theory.
to it.
Yeah, but it's a theory, and we're allowed to float that because it's called fair comment. And the idea is, what compels the publisher of a paper to not just stay quiet on it, but he had to take such a pro approach. And his own Tony Farina Hogchow wrote an article as well. That's a man who's just a disgusting disgrace to reporters. But they took this stance, and then and he even threatened. Do you remember the night he threatened us, where he said that I may have to keep this investigation going? And I wrote and said, "Oh man,
you know how that goes. People don't, or people don't.
I begged him to keep going.
Maybe people are learning that they don't want to kind of push our buttons.
Yeah, but they can push each
No,
other's
don't
buttons.
you understand?
I don't
Though?
care.
Maybe people don't. Maybe people are if they don't know now, they're going to realize that they don't want to.
And the world's going to unveil itself quite nicely. But anyway, the comment was why would the publisher take this thing? And so we had a couple of people say to us, there's rumors one way or another, so maybe something is there. And I don't know, but I noticed Harvey Weinstein is really excited lately. I guess he's getting a cellmate or something. Anyway, that's enough about that. I'm sick of it. But can I do another news article?
Sure. Hang on. I just got to point something out. So, you notice I shaved my head, and I'm looking like a fat old guy now because when I was trimming my goatee, I fucked it up. I had to shave it all off. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, oh my God, here we go. Now someone's gonna make a fat joke like JB Aaron. He ain't my brother.
Hey, Vince Corsini says, hello, Brett. It's Vince from Alcott. 10 yellow. Keep it going.
Vince, what's up, brother? Good to see you on here. Thanks for listening. You guys, hang on, Peter.
What's that?
You guys do us a favor right now.
Oh, yes.
Right now, and just hit that share button. You know what? And if you could, do us a favor and maybe invite 20 of your friends to like our page. It's going to get better, guys. It's going to get better. The show is going to be better. This is, I got
an exciting time.
Carly Lapp, I got to love her. Carly, you got to come in and sit on a show with us. It would be cool. You are so.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So just let us know when you want to come in. We'll bring
Noel
you
said I had to shave mine to. Will you shut up,
Noel? Jesus Christ. You had a ZZ Top going.
And then Kim writes in, I already shared. And I thought she wrote, I already shaved.
Oh, funny.
No, but and what was it? Noel says here that Tony Farina, his picture looks like a pedophile mugshot. No, it doesn't. His picture looks like someone waiting for a laxative to take effect. There you go. So anyway, I want to bring up one other subject in the news today, and that is. Our beloved Mayor Restaino, is doing, first of all, in all seriousness, he's doing a good job of getting the word out there. The word itself, I'm not sure, but we went to our new reporter at City Hall, which has been with us a couple of months, Luann, and she did a little cover, and you and I can kind of talk over this as it happens. Right. So let me get this. Let me get it up. How's that? Okay?
Earlier this week,
I hear that's a problem when you get old.
Shut up.
Was turned red to commemorate time minister.
Yes, the Luann report.
Prime Minister in Canada.
Okay, listen to this.
Prime Minister Turner.
Yep.
He
said longtime prime minister. Now, he was a minister in cabinet for a while, but he was in power for like 79 days.
He served as the 17th prime minister for the
79 days. Get your facts straight, will you?
Country of Canada.
But it gets better.
He served in the cabinet.
He's talking to us like we're third graders.
For many years.
He's talking to us like he's sleeping.
This is another example of our efforts.
Remember, we called him out on that when he was running.
Canada, and certainly between
Niagara Falls,
New York, and Niagara Falls, Ontario, to continue to recognize and be binational partners in so much of what we can do.
Partners,
eager.
Them too.
I know myself as well as my counterpart in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Mayor Diodati. We are both anxious for the moment when the border will open again and we'll be able to enjoy free, unfettered access and crossing between the two countries.
Now, Canada's largest newspaper, it's an article last week, Canadians prefer a closed border, okay? And here you got Jim Diodati said, we're thinking at this point, just leave the borders, don't touch anything, let's get through this election. Seriously? You're telling us that he's your best friend, you wiener? And I'm sorry, he is. He's telling us that that's his best friend over there, and we're in agreement. And in the Canada's biggest paper, Diodati, who's...
How is it over there in Canada?
How is it? It's wonderful.
I haven't been there in a while, so...
Yeah, I know. We don't let you in, do we?
No, they hate me.
But that is just so cool.
Yeah, that's funny that... look, I don't know, with everything that's going on, and again, this goes back to, the whole COVID thing. Yes, there is something obviously going on. Maybe, the longer we get going, the more we hear that, really, they blew this out of proportion, just a tad bit. Now they're trying to say that there may be, a second wave coming again, and that it's going to be worse than the first wave.
They were saying
schools
that
are shut down. Again, they open the schools now. They shut them back down. Parents are freaking out. Guess what? This is causing a huge problem because finding sitters, people to watch their kids. And I can understand where people are going with this. It's going to school for a lot of parents is a time when they work. You understand what I'm getting at?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't have all the answers for that, except if masks are working, COVID, Well, if
Oh, I got it now.
if masks are working,
Close the school.
then why isn't everybody safe?
Yeah.
And if you're wearing a mask, shouldn't everybody that's not wearing a mask be dead already?
We were hoping. Hey, wait a minute. Let's see if anything new is in the reporter. Nope, it's okay. The poop cam is clear. Anyway,
Hang on, the poop cam is not going to be clear for long. We are purposely
Oh,
going to
you
bring
br- you
in
almost
either
brought in
Remy
Willie, right.
or Willie or Crypto in, and have them poop on the papers. I'm sure
Good.
that's going to happen.
Well, that's about the best thing to do with them. So let's get to the real meat of our conversation. And I do know Kevin Hutchison piped in and said Canada, they said they're in a second wave. Yeah, I've been following it up there. So it's tough, man. I mean, we don't know what's happening.
Look,
We're
I'm
still
not saying
confused.
it's not. There's not something going on. I'm just
No.
I think that the average strong man or woman is going to beat it.
Well, I got an email for you today from the Center of Disease Control, and it's on my laptop.
Yeah.
And it says how to select, wear, and clean your mask.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'll save some money on that one.
It's funny. We had a young woman in the studio the other day. She left her mask underneath the chair, and I came running out, and I'm holding it up, and she turns around. And I go, "You left your thong."
How funny.
It was too much fun. Anyway, but let's go to the real topic, and I know we got someone from City Council going to chat with us a little bit later. Leave that as a bit of a surprise, but right now, the streets. What the? I mean, I leave it to you, brother.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is going on out there? When we have, guys, and excuse me, it's not that I'm always running down Niagara Falls. I have the best hope and interest in Niagara Falls. I think that with, is it going to change overnight? No, it's not going to change overnight, but I have the best hope for this city that it will turn around. It isn't going to happen until we change thinking, actions, and ways. And that's just, something that is like a big round picture that I was hitting at. Parenting, not looking at the soup kitchen mentality, not wanting everything for free, and respect. I don't know. I think we need to go back to the old days. It's got nothing to do with being a rat or a narc or telling on anybody or anything like that. But I bet your ass that on 22nd and 22nd and Pine, even though they were saying everybody was taking pictures and filming, not one person came forward and said, I can identify that guy, or here's my pictures, or here, this is what's going on. But I just I don't know. Again, me talking like this makes it sound like to other people that condone the actions, or maybe not even condone it, but aren't so much worried about it, that I'm a racist and that I'm pointing the finger at all the black people, and that Brett Byro, all I said was don't glorify people that are thugs or anything like that, and make them your poster people, and then people went off on me. Guess what? If you don't do something that's going to lead to interaction with the police, guess what happens, Peter? You don't have interactions with the police.
Right. Yeah, you don't end up there. By the way, Carly Lapp.
I know no one wants to snitch, Noel, but there's times and there's places where it's needed.
But what is snitching? I mean, seriously, what the hell are they talking about with snitching? Because when someone dies, like, if you're not going to say something about it, then screw you.
Right. What if it was one of your relatives, one of your friends, or something like that? I can't believe that people actually were taking pictures of the dude that's got shot in the back. I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And if I seen the action going on, guess what? I would have told. And you know what? I'm supposed to be, granted, older now, but I'm supposed to be a bad boy. Oh, we're loyal. No, fuck that. I'm not that loyal that, I'm going to keep allowing this shit to go on over and over and over again. And, it's killing us. It's literally. Look at Pine Avenue, the place where you're supposed to go down, be able to shop,
Right.
Have fun,
It's supposed to be the heart of the city.
Who wants to go down there now?
Well, Carly Lapp pointed out, and I think she should really be part of our team, because she said the streets aren't made for everyone. That's why they made sidewalks. All right, that was a bad one, but then I think it was hang on, Bill Kennedy piped in because I missed it. because everyone thinks they're a reporter because they have a camera. But Kim D'Angelo says, and this is actually really good, sometimes people are just videoing things while a crime is happening instead of getting help or calling the police.
You know what? Unbelievable, right? That that shit happens. And again, I just want to give a quick shout out to Bill Kennedy for number one, always paying attention to our show.
Right.
Thanks, Bill. And number two is you're pretty fucking straightforward. I think with your answers, you're not someone that's going to say, I'm not going to answer that, or
right.
This is how I feel. Guess what? We deserve to know how you feel. You are calling shots in the city, and that's enough. A plug for Bill Kennedy.
No, but at least he's there.
Right. At least
I
he's
had a
paying
compliment
attention, I
about him
guess.
today, actually.
Right. He's paying attention. That's
right.
what I mean.
Someone I was calling. Actually, the other part of the news I didn't talk about, I'm going to mention as well. I had a compliment today during a phone call about Bill Kennedy, as I'm repeating myself. Anyway, that he's one of the few, and Ken Tompkins got the same compliment, that they do react to people who call up. But I got a phone call today from Carolyn Watazik, the Niagara County DA. I have been calling her out to find out if she was going to handle a certain case that we're all aware of, because that individual interacted with her on her campaign. But
right, it wouldn't be fair.
Right, and she explained, very professional, enjoyable conversation. She explained that her policy is not to discuss ongoing cases in public, so we respect that. I won't discuss the specifics of the call out of respect for her position as district attorney and her policy for not discussing cases that are pending, but we're really appreciative of her professionalism and appreciative for her call. So thanks for calling in, and we feel satisfied that things are in good hands.
I agree too. That I'm glad that she answered our call out to her. Another thing that Noelle said, I love how she kind of echoes what we think. Is if you're someone that's out there recording this, instead of calling 911 or getting help, you're part of the problem here, and she's damn right. I say that all the time.
What do you think of this idea? And this is for everyone to pipe in on. Don't forget to give us a call at 716-207-4376. I'll repeat that, but we are going to limit calls when we have to, just to allow more people to call in. 207-4376. And this idea is, when a crime happens, if people are recording it, the police should have the right to seize their phone. No, hear me out, because then they can extract what they need from it. But it would discourage people from standing there. Like, you might as well hand out spoons to some of them because they just want to dig into it.
I get it. I don't know if I'm all for handing your phone over to the police, and maybe
nobody would want to.
Maybe that video, or the police should have a page for anonymous. I guess there's no way to be anonymous. They send in your video here. I don't get it. There's got to be a way around that, and we're going to think about that, Peter, on how we can come up with a page to post to people's videos, and not take their take their
We
name
could
out
do
of
it.
it. Right.
Seriously, we've got the capacity.
Right. Carly, I think you're right. You're an accessory to the crime if you're just standing there watching it. I think everybody agrees to that. I don't know. I'm just kind of dumbfounded that when you drive down Pine Avenue and Main Street in a big city like Niagara Falls, I guess I got to go back here, Peter. Would you stay here?
Right.
I don't know. Would you stay? Would you guys stay here? You guys, we live here. If you were a new person coming to Niagara Falls and you drove around outside of the little bubble area, really, there's not even a bubble area anymore. Really, there isn't. You go to the falls.
No place is truly safe,
and that's it. That's all you can do is go down to. You're not even safe on the falls now. People are getting mugged down there. I don't know. I guess that's what leads me back to always talking about this. We need something, that is going to change, people's attitudes and thinking around here. What I, want to do is I want to go back to the way they were before, where if you did anything wrong, you're arrested. You have to go to court for it. There's none of this fucking bail reform shit. I don't know, throw people in jail for a couple days. It changes your attitude. It changes your attitude.
It really does. I have a thought for you, though. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm asking you. My thought is that, like, even social media, I wanted to bring in Thomas Lohman's comment here. Yeah, it's about getting social media popularity rather than doing the right thing. And that is why a lot of people do it. So, what I was going to ask about was, doesn't it remind you, like when you watch Facebook, people have these battles and they have these fights and stuff and they smash at each other. It reminds me of the movie Gladiator. It really does. The Facebook is the forum, like Jerry Springer used to be, where the lowlife of our society battle it out. And the rest of us are just here like the mob in Rome. And I could just hear Russell Crowe yelling, "Are you not entertained?" Yeah,
you're right, Peter. That, or I don't know, fucking it's a shame to say this, nah, I'm not even gonna say it, because everybody says, "Oh, blah blah blah." But if there was a purge night, I'd partake.
Brian Hutchison, brilliant. He just posted something. If you check the comments, you'll see it, where Lockport police are enrolling with, it's called Stop It, to protect communities. Stop It app empowers citizens to stand up against crime. So I'm not going to read it or anything, but thank you so much, Brian.
Cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't see that, but
I think it came in on my feed. That's
okay.
what it is.
All right.
That's excellent. Thank you so much. I will get it posted for us, though, and I'll get it up. I'll get it up for everyone.
We got some chatter on the bail reform. Unfortunately, of course, lawyers and people that are going to make some money off of that love that idea. The rest of us, the police that are doing their job to arrest people and then they go to jail and they get let out right away to go do the same things over and over again. I think maybe they need to take into consideration that if a person gets arrested and a week later gets arrested again while he already had charges pending, that motherfucker needs to stay in jail.
Yes.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I don't know.
I've heard, we heard a lot of warnings about that Bail Reform Act, and I've noticed something is that a lot of this crime, maybe it's COVID, maybe it's the unrest that's been arising from a lot of the racial issues, but and I'm not inferring at all that our city's crime is one race or another, but maybe it is the Bail Reform Act. Maybe that let the shitbirds, as you call them, start acting out in ways they wouldn't have if those concessions weren't there.
That's what a couple of people have said already. They know that, just like I was telling you, if I were to go out and punch somebody in the face, guess what? I know it's an appearance ticket, so I think that there's a possibility now that other people are just as smart and realize, well, it's just an appearance ticket. I might as well go out and rob something. I might as well go out and do this act. Vince Corsini was saying something about hit and runs in the falls. I think again there has been a couple of hit and runs. I just don't get it. I don't know where people's thinking are. If you condone this action, you're part of the problem. If you're not speaking out, you're part of the problem. Kudos to the peacemakers for doing this gun buyback thing. I can't talk about that. Big enough.
But Jill Shaw just signed on. Jill, great to have you here. If you're here, give us a call at 716-207-4376. She's doing the gun buyback.
Yeah, cool, awesome. Kudos to Jill. I think if it works, that is going to be a great thing. No matter if it gets one gun off the street, if it just plants the seed in, hey, there's a chance that I can make a few bucks off of turning this gun in, maybe that will at least get, I hope, some guns off the street.
I just put up the call-in line for everyone on
cool.
Someone else did too. Who was I think it was Noel, or maybe it was me. But we because people tell me that they can't always see the phone-in line on the screen. A lot of people are using their phones, and that's understandable.
Right.
So, but we hope we'll hear from Jill Shaw tonight. And Ohio Bar piped in, crime doesn't cost the criminal, but it costs the rest of us.
That's for damn sure.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we are at a time.
I hope that's Jill. I welcome anyone calling.
It's probably Bill Collector.
Oh, good. Okay.
The Edge of the Falls. You're on. Who's this?
Jill Shaw in the house.
Jill Shaw, how the hell are you? Thanks for calling in.
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Good. Tell us what's up.
Well, first of all, I just want to clear something up. This is not Jill's Scumbag by program. This
No,
is
we know.
This is all of ours.
You
This is
have all of us.
Awesome,
Hey.
awesome.
It's the girls last night who had me on their show. It's Dante's. It's Ezra's. It's Jill. It's Bobby down the street. This is all of us.
Beautiful.
Well, now, Jill, though,
fill it
just
up.
so you know, the Peacemakers are meeting tonight to confirm all the details. Friday night will be the 4-hour telethon, and you've just met the madman Brett, who is going to be part of that and challenging many of his friends and family, etc., to contribute as well. So
I just love the idea, Jill, and no matter who thought of it, it's needed around here. You know that. We know that.
Right.
Everybody knows that. If it saves one life, you should get a
That's
huge
it.
pat on. Yep.
That's right. I'm happy they're bringing you to the table because you're an animal. So
he is a man of action.
Listen. I wish more people would understand what I'm getting at, and where I am, instead of just right away saying he's a racist and blah blah blah. One thing, I'm not a racist. I don't give a fuck who you are. Shitbirds are everywhere. There are way too many shitbirds in Niagara Falls. I guess that's the point I'm trying to get at.
No, you're right. And the one thing that I heard you say is, fuck it. If you know that you're not going to go to jail for doing some dumb shit, like if my neighbor keeps fucking with me, I might punch that bitch in the face because I'm not going to jail. I'm only getting an appearance ticket. Example, I love my neighbors and I don't want to punch any of them.
Nope, I get it. But you understand where I'm coming with that, right? Everybody thinks that way. Right.
No, I really do get it. And to be honest with you, me and my friends, everyone, we joke about it all the time. We're like, fuck it, bitch, you're not going to jail. Just do what you want to do.
You think we're the only ones that think that way? Everybody thinks that way. It was the dumbest thing that that they've done around here.
And
just give you a reason to go out and I don't like this guy. I might as well go break his nose.
Yeah, pretty much because you're not getting in trouble.
Why are you looking at me?
All right. So tell us about the gun buyback. When is it? What's going on? When can people come up? No questions asked, I'm sure.
It's definitely going to be that federal law, the no questions asked. Now, all the details. See, this is Jill's first time really doing anything like this. So I just leaped off of faith and put my my GoFundMe out there. And the thing is that needs to be picked through by the police department. And obviously, they're going to, so here's the deal. My goal is to reach $20,000. At this point, I think we're going to get a little more than $20,000.
Hell yeah.
So once we get $20,000, the police department has a charity. So that money is going to be transferred to them. One of my things was with collecting this money that we do this as soon as possible. We're not waiting till next year or anything like that. My goal is to have the guns off the streets before holiday season because holiday season is when crime is at its all-time high.
It's going to be rough, you know that.
It's going to be
especially
rough.
nowadays. Nowadays, with all this COVID shit going on, Jill, it's put a strain on everybody. Imagine what it's going to be like for Christmas.
No, it really has. And another thing that I wanted to address, I don't know what to call the other people. Some of the people that don't come from where people that I want to call them like the higher up people, the people that pay a lot of taxes. Medicaid's going to keep going up. You're going to have, the taxes that you pay because every time someone gets shot in the leg, they got to keep going back and forth to the doctors. It costs a lot of.
I'm with you. I
It
what you're getting at.
It costs the state more than $500 every time someone gets shot.
Yeah, but I want to know. I want to know, Jill, if they're shot in the leg and they have a cough, will they get diagnosed with COVID? No, I'm just fucking with you.
Well, I think that they're going to get both because I think how much money do they get if you got COVID?
It's like $38,000 or something. That's why they're blowing up all these numbers. All right, so all right, so continue with tell us again that you're going to have to come on the show. Listen, post on our page. All right, you have a flyer or something.
We do. Actually,
no, I don't even have a flyer.
Jill, okay. I got your back. You know that.
Okay.
And by the way, our first person last night, Brian Hutchinson, drove down here to drop $20 off.
Yeah, fucking A.
So it's going to be great. We've got a flyer. The Peacemakers are looking it over tonight to make sure we're all on the same page. We're asking the police to provide a uniform presence because if people drop into Peacemakers headquarters and drop off cash, there's going to be a lot of cash there.
Right.
So a lot is being pulled together. The madman helped build this studio, and I don't mean physically, like he didn't bang walls and stuff, but he's been a big part of this.
Right.
And so we're going to be there.
Let me tell you something. all I did was put up a GoFundMe. You guys made it pop. Without you guys, I swear to God, this would not be happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't know all the technicalities and all the details and everything. I'm just somebody's mama who wants to make sure her kid's safe. And you guys took that and you really appreciated it, and you guys are making it happen.
We're
Look
getting
it,
really
look it,
like
look
you
it,
know
look
why,
it.
though,
Look,
Joe?
hang on, I gotta point
You
one
guys.
thing out that you said that I wish everybody had the same, ideas around here. You're just a mom that cares about your kids and want to make sure that they're safe. That's such a powerful fucking statement. I wish
swear to
everybody
God,
thought
that's
like that.
my own.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I want.
Well,
That's
Jill,
all I want.
what I wanted to mention was when Brett and I were preparing for the show tonight, and in fact, for the last 5 days, he's been talking about how do we change our streets. I showed him the stuff about what you were doing and how we wanted to do a night where social media really reaches people, and he was so excited. And I'm not trying
Of
to
course,
speak of him.
who's not gonna like
Because you are one of the people making a difference. So when we use your name, that's why, because you are the catalyst here. And I know that you draw in lots of other people. But I just wanted to point out there's only one provision on this, one caveat, one rule, and it's that on Friday night, we are welcoming pastors and community leaders and everyone
That's right.
to come sit in on camera, talk about, and share with their Facebook, but no politicians. We are not
I
No.
love it. I love it.
Yeah, we are not allowing one politician.
This way, nobody can use it as a claim
But
to
we
fame.
will
right?
take their money.
Oh, of course,
Well, yeah.
of course.
Okay.
And in fact,
Okay, I just
you know
wanted to
what?
add
The
that in.
highest, we'll leave it that the politician who makes the highest donation, starting at $1,000, can actually be on the show.
We'll give them a shout out, right?
Yeah, we'll give them shout outs for helping,
Yep.
but
I'll
we're
give 'em a
not
whole
letting
bunch of
politicians
shout-outs.
speak for the people like you, like our peacemakers, like our community, our pastors, our civil leaders, etc. Ezra and Dante, the Madman, myself, etc. We got a lot of people who want this to happen, and I'm done with promises from people who they get their paycheck no matter what, and
Right.
they feel like we have to address this. You're doing something. God bless you and thank you.
Yep, I agree.
You guys are awesome. You guys don't even know your guys are really doing it. You guys are the ones that you guys have the tools, and you guys have the people. It's easier to reach out to them. You just don't understand.
Thank you
Really
for the
don't.
plug,
Thank
Jill.
you.
And
No.
I hope everybody thinks like that. And you know what? It's easier when no matter who you are, where you're at.
Together.
Right. If you're looking at this as a we thing, and I hate to steal an idea or a thing from Narcotics Anonymous or anything, but this is a we program. When
Yes.
everybody's
It is a
working
we
together.
It is a we program, and I also wanted to add in something else because I know a lot of people have been saying stuff like, is this trying to clean up the hood? I want people to know that first of all, my mother is white, okay? So this is not a black or a white thing. I'm half and half. My mom's white, my dad's black. I don't care if you're little Johnny and you live out in Lake Sale and you want to bring your gun, bring it. It doesn't
Yes.
matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what hood. I don't care if you're Arab and you bring your gun. Just
Jill, anybody
bring 'em.
that's
Everybody,
saying
bring 'em.
all you want to do is clean up the hoods is just looking for an excuse to be a dick.
They're looking to blame, and that's
Okay.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah, because it's not. This violence is happening everywhere. So everybody that's not, just bring them, all of them.
Right.
I'm with you. I just I hope that in the grand scheme of things, I hope we can get one gun. If you know what I mean, one gun off the streets, and that's even that's a huge success to me.
It really is. It could save a child, a mother, a father, an officer. It could save anybody.
Yep.
Me?
I
You?
love it. Or our kids. What kind of world are our
Right.
kids gonna have? Well, mine are older now, but yours.
Well,
I'm
don't worry. I think with me and you on the case,
Yes.
we probably gonna be good.
Yeah,
We got the
I'm not
high
fucking around no
power.
more.
I love it.
You guys
I
are the
love it,
high
I love
power.
it. I love it. So this
say-
is this next Monday. Why don't you come sit in on the edge of the falls with us?
Yes.
On Monday, I
Yeah.
don't got no problem with that.
No? All right,
as long
cool.
as I can say fuck, right?
You come on. How many times
You
have
can
you heard me
say
say
it.
fuck?
Okay,
It's like
I'm the only one who doesn't
Brett, you're
swear
such
here.
a bad man. You swear. Get the fuck out of here. And you know what?
never said
If
you're
you don't
bad
like
for
it,
it.
don't
'Cause I
listen to
like
the show.
cussing.
Right. Good.
Yeah,
Me too.
okay.
Oh, you know what we
That's a
should
part
do
of
for
me.
her, Brett? We should play that skit we did where you were teaching your swear like a pro class, and I walked in.
That's funny. Can you bring it up real quick?
No, not now, but we can bring it up for next week. That's why I was thinking, like, make that our break for it. But you'll love it, Jill, because Madman talks. He shoots from the hip and he talks the way he is. I talk the way I am because I had English parents and I'm a Scottish father, but and I'm Canadian, so we don't swear. We're not allowed to. It's not in our Constitution.
Good. All right, then good. So we'll bring you on.
No,
go ahead.
I know y'all got my phone number. Don't fucking prank call me, because I know I got the
No, that's last night. That's Courtney.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Courtney, if you listening, don't even try it, because I know it's going to be y'all. Nobody else got my number.
Funny. All right,
Jill,
listen,
you're a delight.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for any thoughts that you're doing to try and make it better around here. And I hope everybody follows your lead.
Oh, Jill, how much
right.
is in the GoFundMe so far?
Oh my gosh, it's a little embarrassing. We only got $285, but
No,
it's the
that's a
best
start.
$285 I've ever seen in my life.
All right, I'm going to
That
put.
sounds like about 300 politicians
I'm going to
chipped in.
challenge all of my friends out there right now that are listening to this or going to listen to the Edge of the Falls. I will donate $20. I'm challenging all of you to donate $20. That should bring in at least 100 of you. I know that there's people out here that are listening that care. Everybody, we will post the GoFundMe on our page, and I'm challenging all of my friends that say they care to put their money where their mouth is, and let's do something. This is going to the police charity. What more can we do, guys? Come on.
Yep. Kevin Hutchinson said, Brett, we don't agree a lot, but I will go to war with you for the record.
Cheers, brother.
Nice.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Kevin. And, it was nice to meet you, too.
He's the one who came down last night, Jill, and dropped money off, and he's just a good man.
Tell him I said thank you so much.
Oh,
he's
heard
listening.
you.
He's listening. All right, Jill, we're going to let you go and see if we can get a couple more calls in here, and we will see you Friday and then Monday on the show. Cheers.
That's right. See you guys. Peace.
Yep. Cheers, hon. Bye. You want me to call?
Yeah, give him a call.
What?
Oh, I see Bill Kennedy piped in, said, I'm not a politician. Well, Bill Kennedy is one of the voices we use here in our studio, and so maybe he has other titles we can use. But
Kim, you're awesome. I appreciate that. She said she's going to donate $25 tomorrow.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, here we go. Do people want to know who we're calling, or we're just gonna
well,
surprise
let's
them?
just hear when he answers them. I'll introduce him for you, okay?
All right. Bear with me here 1 minute while I.
There's a bear with you?
I have to figure out how to use my phone.
Oh, yes.
There's no pictures.
Here's a man trying to figure out technology. He keeps leaning to the right, doesn't he? I mean, he will not sit center in the camera. I can't, and if I go turn the camera, he turns it back. He's a fighter, I'll tell you.
Whoops.
Carly Lapp, she says, I think you should match it, Brett Byro.
Yes. Okay, I'll match $25. Deal.
Yep. And we'll be there Friday night. It'll be from 7 to 11, and we'll put up a poster tomorrow with the actual...
Hello. John, hang on 1 minute. I don't know why we're not getting you. Bear with me here 1 minute. You there? You there? Call me right back, please.
Yep. Call him right back, John. So we might as well introduce our guest.
Yeah,
if you remember last week, we were getting into the subject of the city council going out to try and be in the community and getting 6 people. And here he comes now. So Councilman John Spanbauer is calling in.
All right, you're on the Edge of the Falls. How are you?
Hi, Brett. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
First of all, I was just listening, and I want to give a kudos out to Jill and the program she's doing. What an excellent idea and what an excellent program. So I just heard about it yesterday. So I think she's going to get a lot of people donating to that.
Yep, I hope so too. It's definitely needed, brother. You know that.
Yeah, so I listened to your show last week, and I called Peter today and I said, listen, I'd like to call in and make a couple comments about a couple of the things that you guys talked about last week. First thing being the council in the community. Bottom line is, I agree with you guys 100%. We did not advertise well enough. We did not get enough participation, and we need to do a better job as a council of getting the word out. Okay. Those council and community meetings, I used to attend them a couple years ago, and I found them interesting as a city resident trying to learn some of the things of city government. And what we need to do is we need to educate our citizens of Niagara Falls and have them give us feedback at these meetings. So I wanted to say that we need to do a better job of getting people out to these meetings.
Well, I think, even sometimes, on your guys' end, not that I'm sticking up for, all the councilmen, but I know that you guys, have a job to do. I don't believe, that you guys work part-time. I don't know, I think that, when a lot of times when you go home, you're thinking of the city, and when you go to work, you're thinking of the city. You following me? If that, means... sorry. So I got up and I was talking to Peter, and someone said piss break. That was kind of funny.
I'm all wet.
I think that John, yes, there can be more people getting the word out, but it doesn't just go with you guys; it goes with everybody.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Our next meeting is on December 16th at 6 p.m. at the John Duke Center. So hopefully. And I'm going to be talking to my colleagues. I'm new at this, and I believe it's our job to get the word out. I know last week we talked about the PIO post a little. I have to be honest with you. The PIO position, I don't even know if she knew about the meetings we were having. I actually sent her some information on September 15th about the meeting, and she posted it the same day. So I think she got some undue criticism because the administration, they do not know, I shouldn't say don't know. We are the ones that schedule these meetings. We are the ones that I believe should be advertising and getting people out. The administration has nothing to do when we schedule them and how we do it. So one of the things I want to do is talk to my colleagues and see what we can do to do a better job of getting information to media outlets like yourself so we can get 50 people at these meetings.
John, can I offer you a suggestion on that? First of all, I want to counter the point that when you're a public information officer, one of the things you do is you don't just... This is what's wrong with everything I see in this area. She gets and I'm not faulting her, but she's getting this information from you. She puts it up and says, I've done my job. No, your job is to look at the date of this thing and target when the information goes out there. Make sure it gets out in a timely way. Not 6 days before, right. Not, who's going to remember that shit? You ain't. I'm not going to. I think that, the day of or the day before, you need to be blasting stuff just like we do. It's not rocket science. Right.
It's, okay, the more messages you put out there, more people are going to say, hey, I missed the last one. I better go to this one. Or, it's a good thing that came across my Facebook feed or I wouldn't have known that. You following me?
Oh, I don't disagree.
Right.
The position is new, and I'm just getting familiar. And you guys know it's been criticized. I'm just getting familiar with the position, and I hope it's a position that is beneficial to the city of Niagara Falls.
We do too. But let me finish there, John. Before you jump in, though, I want to offer something to you and to your colleagues. When we heard about the gun buyback, the first thing that we did here at Yowawa was we offered to do a telethon for them. I'm not going to do a telethon for you guys. Raise money to get Bill Kennedy to leave.
No, we need one for the city of Niagara Falls.
Okay, let's do this. If you and your colleagues agree, I know that sometimes we can be a little bit hostile. We can be a little bit facetious and comical about the way we attack some people, etc. But we will drop the gloves, absolutely. And I'll show up with the full mobile system, and we'll televise this on the internet.
Yeah, I'm down.
No commentary. We're not going to control the show. What we're going to do is broadcast it. I see how they do city council, and I kind of find it stale. And I'm not saying we're going to make a mega show, but definitely we want to. We want to offer this to council.
No, and here's what I can tell you, and I can't speak for my colleagues, but what I can speak for is what I believe can help turn the city around, and that's an educated voting population.
Right.
I think our residents, and you said it last week, and I wrote the note down. I can't remember exactly what you said, but you mentioned something about losing faith. Are we like it was something about no one attending, and you said, are we losing faith in the city? And the answer is completely yes. People are losing faith in the way the city operates, and it's our job as the leadership of this city, as the council and the administrative team, we have to try to regain this faith in our community. And the way we do that is educating our residents and educating the people who are in this community, trying to make the community better.
Right.
You know what, John? You're echoing again. What I've been saying for years, and not just in a roundabout way. We need to change a little bit of thinking. We need to get a little bit of pride and enthusiasm back into the city. And maybe that will rub off on everybody. You ever wake up in the morning and you're in a bad mood, and you go out and you're in a bad mood with your wife or your kids or whatever, and you realize that it rubs off on them? It's the same thing. Really, this happens. That you spread your negativity onto those who are around you. Am I always happy-go-lucky dude? Hell no, you know that. But what I try to do is, even when people are calling me a racist or saying this or saying that, is instill a little bit of truth and a little bit of I guess how can I say it? Some subliminal messages that are going to be planted into the seed, to saying, hey, maybe I should not be such an asshole. Maybe I should just drink one less beer. Maybe I should just rob one less thing. Maybe I should, maybe I should give up my guns. And I'm just throwing this out there and being facetious. If you're out there and you're listening to this, and you have a gut feeling in you that you can change thinking in Niagara Falls, you can, just by your actions and just by doing a little bit better than you did yesterday. That's all I'll go with on that, and let you run with that.
Yeah.
And John, I've got your Halloween thing up, so anytime you want to segue into that.
So let me make one more mention about community advocacy. And I'm still working my way through this. I still am not comfortable being a city council person. I heard you guys refer to politicians. I wish I'm the same with Bill Kennedy. I saw his I'm not sure I'm a politician. I'm a community advocate.
We need leaders.
Yeah. So, but the last thing I want to say about community advocacy, I have a vision that we create a group of citizens, and when I say a group of citizens, I mean hundreds of people that come to community meetings, and we have representatives from the edge of the falls, from the peacemakers, from all the block clubs, and this group of people sit there and they have a think tank, and we have a couple representatives, and we listen to them and we hear them, and we have them come to city council meetings, and they're the ones that are going to put the pressure on the city council meetings versus 20 union guys that are the only ones at the council meeting. And that's my vision. I want to see us create a community advocacy group that is for the city of Niagara Falls. And when I say that are educated about the city operations, the only way they get educated is by us as councilmen, us as city administration, giving them information to be educated on the city operations.
I like it.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that there was another person talking about having a sit down.
John Rustino?
No, nope. Not John Rustino.
But he pushes for a community.
No, Eastside Dave. Yeah.
Damon Grant.
Damon Grant, yes.
Yep.
Good guy.
Good. Yeah, Eastside Dave, you got to, you understand. I understand where he's coming from. He owns lots of properties, and he is another person. No matter whether anybody likes him or not, he cares. John. He may be abrupt in the things that he says, and he is mad that the unions, I guess if he puts it that way, are milking everybody here. On the other end of the coin, if I was in the union, of course we wouldn't feel that way. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I've had conversations with Eastside Dave, and I feel for him. And many of the things he's on target with. My relationship with Eastside Dave has been very good so far, because I like hearing from him. But the other thing I want to talk about, and you're led into unions and contracts. That
right.
We can talk about all that all the time, but one of the things that you guys talked about last week is there's no one that wants to stick up against the unions, okay, or say things against the unions. And I have to say, my platform was real simple. And here's what I want to tell you. I've lost friends, and I'm not going to say good friends. I've lost friends because of my stance with city government and city budget. And three simple things when I went into the union endorsement meetings. I said, I believe there should be across-the-board contributions to health insurance. I said I wanted to see overtime reduced, and I wanted to examine workforce rules in a way that we may be able to do stuff better and cheaper and actually have more people doing things that may improve the city operations. Those three things became so anti-union, and that's where I have a problem with this whole political thing. I believe the unions have done a great job negotiating. You guys talked about negotiation. They didn't dictate the contracts. They negotiated them. Our previous mayor, and I talked to someone in the law department, our previous mayor was the one that pushed a lot of these contracts through. Mm-hmm. Okay. What we need to do as a city council, and the contracts aren't coming up for a while, but we need to look at these contracts and we need to read them. And you talked about negotiations. Guess what? Every city council person can read these contracts, and it's up to them to approve them or not to approve them. Would I want to be having a seat at the table? Yeah, but guess what? I don't need a seat at the table. I can read it in black and white what we're offering to these people. And Brett, last week you said something about see-through New York. Basically, last year, 2019, we had 76 employees make over $100,000. Okay, so I bring out facts about what the city operations are. So 85% of costs of our city is geared towards human resource costs, payroll, pension, health insurance. Right. Okay, and it's only going to increase over the next few years. I would be okay with that if that's what other cities were that we compare ourselves to. Other cities about 78%. When you things and speak about them, because then everyone says, "Oh, you're anti-union." I'm not anti-union. I'm pro-citizen Niagara Falls, and I think we need to look at some of these union contracts and try to reduce the cost of them.
I love it,
bro.
I love it.
And the unions love you, don't they?
Well, and I sent that thing to Peter.
It's ready.
I mean, and this is one of the things that, first of all, I loved this when I was running. Stressful situation, but the day I walked into my house and I got this in the mail, it was the best thing that happened in my campaign, because I just thought it was hilarious.
Read it to us.
It says public safety, cut to the bone. On Halloween, we all love going door to door for a little scary family fun, but City Council candidate John Spanbauer has been scaring us all with his plans to slash public safety. Spanbauer would like to declare the city bankrupt, cut public safety, and reduce the number of police on the streets protecting us. Tokyo fared, this was my favorite line, Tokyo fared better against Godzilla than our residents will against Spanbauer's monster plan. On election day, opposed stream candidate John Spanbauer.
How funny.
Oh my God, this is priceless.
And one of the best things about something like this, under election laws, you can go into different, like the unions have their bank accounts. I'm forgetting the terminology, but you can go into this all public. Now, I know what union put this out. I could just by looking at their bank statements on what their cost is. So, this is one of these things that was misleading.
Misleading.
But and the other thing, and again, I will always go back to health insurance, and you guys talked about it a little last week, and that's what I wanted to call. Right now, the family plan for the city is almost $28,000. It's exactly $27,787. We have 60% of our employees that don't contribute to health insurance. Okay, so we have a $20 million cost in health insurance, $10 million for retirees that we can't really do anything with, $10 million for current employees. Guess how much you think employees of this city contribute to that $20 million bill?
How much? Enlighten us.
About $750,000.
Wow.
Out of 20 million.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
So those are the things. Those are the things that I find when we look at city government, we have to change somehow.
My God, that is a no-brainer, and it's funny that you echo and you're seeing firsthand that as soon as you speak out on the unions, all of a sudden, bam! It's kind of like just like I told you, it's political suicide. If you plan on staying, a city councilman or doing anything that is going to allow you to make a little bit of a difference in the city, you have to. You have to bite your tongue. You have to.
And Brett, here's what I'm going to tell you. When you said it's political suicide, I wasn't worried about getting elected. I wanted to put some stuff out there and have people be knowledgeable. And I think the way I got elected is I went door to door. And when you talk about these numbers with the average resident, and I still remember to this day, I walked up to the door. A lady comes to the door. She's an assistant chef at Longhorn Steakhouse. She had dirty, grimy clothes on, and I start talking about how a lot of employees don't pay health insurance. She goes, I pay $350 a month to make $42,000 a year, and you're telling me these people aren't paying anything? And people need to understand. And again, I don't think this is anti-union. It's like if I'm running my household and my wife went out and spent $1,000 on a dress, and I said, Holly, you can't do that. I think that's too expensive. That doesn't mean I hate her.
Right.
That means I think we could be better in doing what we do.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you, and
John,
I see exactly where you're going with it.
I want to ask you a question about negotiations, and I know Tim Heater is piping in here. I need to call about the insurance, he says. But no, it's okay, Tim. We don't sell insurance. We're at the ends of the balls. Anyway, John, we've been speculating. Who negotiates? I know it's a legal representative, goes into the contract negotiations with the union. I was part of a union, and we had a negotiating team. And you were either selected to be on it, etc. And it created a sort of a common group from the rank and file of your union. They came in and they oversaw the entire process. We're told it's one member of the legal team there. Do you know who went in on the last round of union negotiations? Who that was?
Who's the lawyer that sits in?
Here's what I can tell you, and that could be something. If any other councilmen are listening, they may be able to pitch in because this is my first time. What I believe, there's no doubt it's our legal office, okay? And I'm going to assume that they have more than one attorney or one person sitting at the table.
Well, we're told it's one.
Yeah, we were told it was one, right?
I know this is all new for you too,
right,
John, but this is why I'm asking it, is that would it not make sense to have a representative from the citizenry, have a representative from the administration and the lawyer in a room so that I overheard someone describe to me that they heard from someone on one of the unions, and I know it's hearsay, but it kind of makes sense that we came in with a great contract, and we thought, we loaded it up, we didn't think they were going to go for it, and they just took the whole thing. So maybe that was the mayor's influence or whatever, but who's taking the whole thing in this case? Who's who's negotiating on our behalf? That's what I want to know. If I'm in a union, I want a strong negotiating team.
Peter, what you just said is not far off the truth. So when I first got in office, I was looking at our contracts, and I went from the law office, and I go, I look at these contracts. There were 3 of them, and I said, how would you rate these from A to D for the residents of Niagara Falls? The individual said D. I go, well, how would you rate them D if you were involved? He goes, because the previous Mayor Deister, wanted these like this as he was leaving office. So it's that simple,
Right.
Now, the question is, those contracts still go in front of council, I want to see how these contract negotiations go. And I may not even be involved in them because the first contracts to come up are in 2024.
Yep.
2 come up in 2024, I think 2 in 25 and 2 in 2026. That's why this city is in desperate. I fear for this city due to the fact we have built-in costs for the next 4 to 6 years that are higher than most city our size. And we're not changing it. All new people are coming in paying health insurance, which is great, but our long-term people will not be contributing to health insurance, even if the rates go up.
Right.
So we're handcuffed, and I fear for this city over the next few years. With the state being broke, with the casino, we're up in the air with that. I fear for the city. I'm nervous about it. And Brett, you said I
as you should be, brother.
It.
Right, as you should be. Unfortunately, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I just want to reiterate what I've said to I think all of the city councilmen is that sometimes you have to make the bad call, John. You already know that. Sometimes you have to be the bad man. Unfortunately, you drive around Niagara Falls. You cannot please everybody in Niagara Falls. You just can't do it. Now you are in a position where you are intelligent and you can use your brain to say, what is going to be a benefit for your grandchildren, and the rest of the people in Niagara Falls. And I know you're following me. It's time to start thinking about, I guess, the next generations that are coming up.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I told Peter today I'll come on a show. There's so much we could talk about the city. We could focus on costs of employee operation. There's so many little things that you can spend a lot of time on. But my goal is to try to educate our residents and our taxpayers of the cost of operating the city,
right,
and specifically employee costs that I believe are over the cost of normal cities our size that we compare ourselves
and
to.
that's the thing.
Obviously, it's over the cost. Peter, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's John, one of the things is if I work for a major corporation and I make, say, $100,000 a year, and then I take a kind of a similar job at a mom and pop, I'm going to go in knowing they don't have the resources to pay me what the big corporation did, and so that's what I'm thinking of is that we have to start realizing who we are. We're not a big city anymore. I know Tim Heater is really anxious to call in and explain and answer the questions, but we can't take 2 calls at a time. But let's coordinate this maybe if you're here and we could have you in studio. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to get, I know we invited Jill Shaw to come on next week, but maybe... I'll
reach out to you. Yeah, Peter, I'll reach out to you. And I'd like to come in the next month during this budget process so we can explain it a little.
I'd like to have you and Tim come on if that would be cool. I don't, it kind of.
I think that could be good.
Yeah.
I think that could be good.
John, your honesty about being new to all this, etc. You're not claiming, hey, I had no idea. I'm watching the administration. The mayor constantly says, well, you guys voted in the
blaming it on you, right?
And I saw today where he was. Where the mayor was saying that he wants council. You can see it on his most recent broadcast. You saw it tonight because he's also got to learn Canadian history. But and Jim Diodati is not his buddy. I mean, Jim's great, but anyway. But the whole thing is in that article, he's telling council that he wants them to come up with another $4.5 million in revenues, right? And it's like blood from a stone. And Stefano Magaddino used to say, according to Mike Hudson's book, when people would say you can't get blood from a stone, well, stones can be broken.
Yeah. Well, and I'll leave you with one last thing. And this was a thing I can't remember if I heard it on your show or someone else. And you just talked about the reduction in our population. Someone goes, "Oh, why do we need all the fire halls that we had from 20 years ago?" Bottom line is, in the contract, we cannot close a fire hall. We have to maintain all 5 fire halls with the staffing and the pieces of equipment. And that's in the contract, and that goes until 2026. So if we lost 20,000 people, we would still have to maintain those fire halls unless the fire union came back to the table.
Whoever's negotiating for the unions is, doing a damn good job. I got to put it that way.
Oh, we're going to do a skit on the negotiations next week. Can you imagine that?
Well, here's what I got to say. My last thing about when you say negotiations, remember this, and this is like an Eddie City. We're not different than we have an attorney, or maybe 2, maybe an assistant attorney, but our top legal person is working on all the city issues. Plus, he's the most important person in negotiating with the unions. The unions have a nationwide network that they can go to and get assistance in negotiation. So they have more resources than what municipalities have. So that's an important thing to realize. You know, I'll tell you, if the city had the money, I would love to bring an outside contractor in and do the negotiations. Some cities and municipalities do that, but we're broke. We can't do that.
Nope, I get it, and that's a great idea. I think that maybe it's needed. I don't know about everybody talking about the city needs to go bankrupt and blah 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 and control board and and all this stuff. I don't know how I feel. Sometimes I'm like, man, maybe. And then other times I'm like, well, it worked for Buffalo. And then I look and, well, did it really work for Buffalo? You see where I'm going with it. It's hard to.
Well, Tim Heater is just
I keep on saying last comment. This will be my last comment.
No. Keep it going. Keep it going.
So when I was reviewing control boards, a control board would not do anything for the city of Niagara Falls due to the fact that our union contracts are in place for 4 to 6 years. If we had a control board 5 years ago, what they can do is say, okay, there's going to be no raise in the union contracts. We're going to do this with the union. But the contracts are in place, and the control board, from my understanding, can do nothing with the contracts that are in place. It worked in Buffalo when they first started because all the contracts were coming up.
Right.
So that's an understanding you have to have with the control board. And I was one, Brett, that I thought a control board was what we needed to do. Right. But really, the point we're in now, and that's one of those things I talk about, community meetings and explaining to people, okay, here's exactly what a control board could come. They can come in to this city right now. We can bring them in. They're going to have control over about 14% of our spending.
Right. John, I want to bring something back here because Tim Heater, who is like a great friend of the show, and we're going to have him on next week as well. Tim, he says population doesn't determine fire and police coverage. Area does. He says population goes down, but area and responsibilities of buildings don't go down. And while people are acknowledging him, we have to remember that when the population goes down, the tax base goes down. You can't afford it.
Right.
Right.
So there has to be something. If you have to cover that much, you have to do it with the money you can raise. You can't act like every house is filled and everyone is paying taxes.
So that's the
perfect argument. It's the only one that you need. That really, how do you justify going from 100K down to 70K? Where do we make up that 30,000 people in money?
Right.
But I think what Tim's saying too is also because a city decreasing the population, if you still have the square miles to cover and the infrastructure, you still need that staffing. Okay.
Right.
But here's what I can tell you. When you look at square miles, okay, we're 14.1 square miles. And it's funny you say it because I just pulled this up today. City of Utica is 16.8. City of Troy is 10.4.
Oh, the toilets.
City of Schenectady is 10.8. So you can get the land area. It doesn't mean you have coverage, but in the cities we compare ourselves to, we're pretty close in land area. Now that doesn't, one of the things that the people argue about from some of the unions, they'll say, oh, we get 7 million visitors a year. Schenectady, Detroit, they don't get that. My argument with that is, okay, you're right. If we get 7 million visitors a year from April to, let's say, September, and we need that coverage, do we need it from September to March when we don't have all the visitors here? So are we overstaffed during those months?
That's a good point, John. I guess we have to take into consideration, and I know that people get pissed off at me. We are in a city, with a shit ton of shitbirds, brother, that are causing a lot of the problems here. A lot of the reason why people are saying we need more cops, we need this, we need that. Tim Heater said, but a vacant house burning still has to have the fire put out, and I agree with that. And that's kind of like saying, Captain Obvious. Obviously, we need the fire and police here. What we're saying is there's got to be something now that saves the city. Right now, are they saving the city? I don't think that the unions are truly. I'm dumbfounded when you told me how many people are making in excess of $100,000 a year. I'm sorry, but we live in a place in this area where if someone's making $40,000 a year, they are doing, probably double what the average household is bringing in. Am I making sense to you? There's no way that the median income here is $38,000, per person. That's because of union workers and stuff like that drove the median income up. We are in a poverty-stricken city. I don't know. Damn it.
No, it's a good point. But right. Carly Lapp says, isn't it funny how most city firefighters live in places where they have volunteer departments?
Yeah.
Now, that's good.
We've talked about that already.
Right. But could we not, I'm rather new to the area. I drive up Lockport Road. As soon as I pass into the town of Niagara, about a mile later, there's a volunteer fire department. Could we not have a volunteer fire department to augment, if you will, meaning support our fire here? And
they live for this shit. They live for it.
Oh my God, they're passionate and they're wonderful. But what would happen?
Here's what I can tell you. I don't think and I know more about the Niagara Falls Fire Department in regards to staffing. I have some very good friends on it. I don't think they're overstaffed. Okay, that's the first thing. So I think they're staffed at the right level. Okay. When you're talking like right now, they require 17 people on a shift. Okay. 17 firefighters across the city is really not a whole lot if you have a major fire. Okay. So I don't find that, and again, the staffing levels you could talk about, I don't think the city is totally out of line with staffing levels, but what I believe in, it's something that one of you guys just said. So our top 20 employees, and I want to say something to Tim Heater, because when I talk about unions, I want to make sure, really, when I talk about the finance, the high cost, it's regarding public safety. Okay. It's not our DPW. It's really the high cost of city operations is more related to the public safety unions. Okay. If you look at last year's overtime in 2019, 20 employees, okay, out of 20 employees, the average overtime among the top 20 employees was almost $43,000, with the top person earning $80,747,000. So the top employee last year that earned overtime earned over $80,000.
Wow.
The top 20 averaged 43,000. So it goes back to what we talk about, our median income. We've got 20 employees in the city of Niagara Falls that average more in overtime than what our citizens make in this city.
John, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When you talk about overtime like that, does a person working in public safety making that much overtime means they have to be working incredible hours? Are they getting sufficient rest to be effective at their job?
You know what? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, that's a good question.
But it makes you wonder, like if you've got the time to earn that much overtime, I know it sounds like a big dollar amount, but it does take a lot of your time. Are you, if you look at a driver on a bus, okay, they have to have X number of hours. I think it's 10 or something like that each night free. Plus, they have limitation on the number of hours they can drive. And if they don't, they have to keep that in their logbook. And if they don't, then what happens is if they get pulled over by the DMT Department of DOT, then they can be fined, pulled off the road, etc. So is that happening in some senses? And is our police so top heavy with brass that we don't have like for every officer earning 150, whatever it is, in the upper levels, we could have 2 officers out on the street.
Bingo. If everybody keeps talking about how crime is so bad and we need more police, and here's why we're not getting more police is because the upper echelon is sucking up all the overtime and all the excess money and causing us not to bring on new cops that will care, that will put their lives on the line and take a chance of maybe, especially nowadays, getting shot or abused. I seen a video of someone else posted where a cop was in the city and he was surrounded by people and getting spit on and have to sit there and take it. Anyways, kudos to the police.
Yeah.
Let's end this, John. And if you're willing, it'll be Peter. What do you think? When can we get Tim and John in here?
I don't know.
I'll reach out to Peter, and I know next month I'm going to be away. Yeah, and here's I want to make one last comment. Peter, you mentioned about I got to believe the contracts with how many hours they work. You got to remember, if you're making $45, $50 an hour and you get paid time and a half, it probably adds up pretty quickly.
Oh, without a doubt.
And I'm using those. I don't know what the exact hour amount is. But you know what? here's one thing I'll tell you about, and I've said this any people I talk to. Right now, police in this country have the toughest job of any job I think there is. They are making split decisions, and actually anymore they're not making split decisions. They're hesitating, and I guarantee officers have been killed because they've been hesitated. But if you see a police officer in this community, we just talked about how much they made and stuff. But I'll tell you what, that is totally different than just thanking a police officer for their service. Because I'll tell you right now, it is a very difficult occupation to be in right now. We have to thank our law what they do right now in this society.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly, bro.
John, sorry to jump in on
guys.
you there. Before you go, give some thought to October 12th. It's probably Columbus Day weekend.
Tim, you too. I know you're listening.
Tim, yep. And if you two gentlemen can come on, we can have a great debate, and it's a good thing because we're not fighting each other. We're not arguing. For you, it's a learning curve, and Tim is in a new position with the union. I should have brought up Tim's song for him. Anyway, but it's been great having you, John.
Yes, yeah, thank you, John. I appreciate it.
Guys.
I appreciate it.
And congratulations on your studio and everything, because I think it's going to be bring some voices to the city that we haven't had. So
tell your colleagues we'll come and help you in December.
Anytime you need us, right? Say the word. If you want to post something, feel free to post on our page. You don't need an invitation to do that shit. That goes for everybody. If you want to get something out, we'll help you put it out.
Yep. And the beauty of this is it's not just when we broadcast. This stays on Facebook and YouTube, and you can watch it 24 hours a day.
Right.
Yep. Sounds good, guys.
All right. Cheers, brother.
John, thank you for calling in.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right. We're off. We're out.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. I'm done.
We're done.
I'm beat.
done.
I'm sore.
done. How's everybody out there? Look for the union label. There, Tim said yes, my song. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for piping in and for being part of us. A part of our show tonight. And Madman, you go have yourself some fun. And we really appreciate everyone being here. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
Monday
share this
night.
shit. Invite your friends to listen to our page,
Yeah,
guys.
talk about us.
Yeah, okay, I say the F word, but hopefully we are.
What?
We're getting some shit done. All right?
Yeah.
You guys have a great night.
Maybe if I say the F word, people will tune in.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, cheers, guys.